Well, in just a few weeks now at the NFC Championship game, the CBS Sports will be pleased to announce the winners of the 1988 Light Beer NFL Lineman of the Year Award. It's a special award, and it honors the game's top offensive and defensive linemen in the NFL. And along with this award, Miller Lite is going to donate $25,000 in each winner's name now to the charity of his choice. And you fans voted, and you're the people who chose these winners during the season. So you're going to bring all the finalists to us, and some of them are, on offense, well, Keith Van Horn of the Chicago Bears, Anthony Munoz. He's had a spectacular season with the Cincinnati Bengals, and Mark May, he's always an outstanding lineman for the Washington Redskins. Over on defense, Fred Smerlish, you've got to be awfully happy for the year he's had with Buffalo. Chris Dolman, a standout with the Minnesota Vikings. And, of course, Charles Mann of the Washington Redskins. In the midst of a losing season down there for the Redskins, he was a standout. Let me take everybody to the scoreboard with Dick and Irv and get you up to date. What a gloomy day this is for the Giants. Not only do they lose, the Eagles beat them out of a division championship, and if the Rams beat the 49ers tonight, the Giants are not going to the playoffs. Now, let's take a look at some of the action from the game. This was a key player of this fumble by McConkey.
McConkey was sure-handed back there on punt returns. This time, bottoms the ball. The Jets end up with the ball on the 8-yard line. Brent setting up a scoring opportunity for them.
Yeah, and Freeman McNeil took it in against Bill Parcells' defense, and the Jets went up 27. But, you know, Dick, the Giants came back with Phil Simms.
Well, they did. They didn't give up. I mean, I tell you that. With this play here, it was a neat kind of a play. You know, they probably thought, the Jets probably thought they're going to hand it off to the guy, but Baker just keeps kind of running, and they hit him right there in the open.
And then, of course, there was Manuel at the back of the end zone. This is Manuel making this catch, and Stephen Baker, who had caught the earlier one, so just reverse that graphic information. And then that was the big catch right there was Al Toon.
Al Toon making the clutch play for the Jets, but, you know, you have to, again, admire the Jets' effort, Ben. It was just a nuts and bolts, hard-nosed football game from start to finish.
You know, I can remember years past when we've said when teams don't have anything at stake, they lose these games. Really, it was almost automatic. And now the last 2 days, Washington Redskins, Jets, they come up big.
I think it's different nowadays. I mean, you know, they say, well, you're not in it, and what do you got to play for? Pack up and let's go home. But I don't think that's true no more. I just think there's a lot more, you know, with their contracts and how they're going to go next year and everything else. So, and it's got to be a feather in your cap when you knock someone off like today. Yeah. I mean, the Jets, I mean, the city pride and all that, that's great. But hey, we knocked somebody out of the playoffs. If we're not going, let's knock somebody else out. And that's got to be the attitude. On the other hand, I mean, you know, hey, Giants, everything's, you know, concerned with this game. Let's really go. And their strong part of their team didn't perform well, I think.
All right, Dick, one of the stars for the New York Jets. You got to feel happy for Ken O'Brien.
Oh, yeah.
Lost his job for a while. Here he is back. Let's go out now to Vern Lundquist. Vern?
All right, thank you, Brent. Ken O'Brien, that was an extraordinary fourth quarter, and especially the big kick return by Bobby Humphrey that set you up near midfield.
Yeah, that was special teams have been doing it for us all year long, and they don't get the recognition they need. But when they make those kind of plays, it makes it easy for the offense to finally put it in.
Ken, Trey Bradshaw, who called the pass to Toon for the touchdown to win it?
Well, we kind of audibled that line of scrimmage. They came to our goal line defense to try to stop us, and Al was out there one-on-one, so I just said, what the heck, let's give it a shot. And Al comes through all the time, and he did once again.
Does this send a message to the Jets and to the rest of the National Football League next year that perhaps these Jets are for real and they're going to really explode in '89?
Well, I know you picked us to go to the Super Bowl next year, Terry, so I think it did. You know, really, I think it sent a message to ourselves about how good we can be if we play well and play well every day of the season. So we're excited about our future, and today was just a topping for it.
Ken, what does this game mean to you?
Well, for us, it's a big plus, and for me especially. I haven't beat the Giants since I've been here, and there's a lot of people who've always thought of the Jets as second-class citizens. We have a long way to go, but today was a step in the right direction.
Congratulations to you, Ken.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the pheasant hunt in California.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's go back to Brent Musburger.
All right, Vern, thank you very much. And let me take everybody back to the scoreboard now. As the Giants' playoff chances very much in jeopardy as the Eagles go in and they beat the Dallas Cowboys 23-7, and they wrap up the NFC Eastern Division. And a big pork chop welcome for our buddy Ryan, but he got the last laugh, folks. Randa Cunningham going to the Pro Bowl, and he shows you why here. Escapability, that's what our friend Hank Stram calls moves like that as he steps out of bounds at midfield. He can throw it to her.
Well, he does it all. He has great arm strength as well, too. Here he lobs the ball up to Mike Quick, who's recovered from that broken leg he had a few weeks ago.
Now pulling out is Steve Pallur. He was under fire all game long. How about that? Reggie White again with another great year for the Eagles.
The thing about Reggie White, he's so versatile. You know, you can put him out in his defensive end position, but when you really want to get the heat up the middle, you put him over the middle. And there's no center, I think, can handle him one-on-one, if I'm wrong, or correct me. I mean, you've got to double team this guy.
You know, he's as fast as some running backs, too.
He's
almost 300 pounds.
He's a great athlete. Listen, the Cleveland Browns, earlier today we reported Don Strock. He threw 3 interceptions early on. The Oilers ran one of them in. Now he's come back with 2 touchdown passes, only 3 minutes to go, and the Browns leading the Oilers by 5. And if this holds up, the Browns and the Oilers will be the AFC wildcard game on Saturday, and they'll come right back to Cleveland to play it. So that will certainly simplify things. Indianapolis, on the other hand, hoping for a Houston miracle right now as they beat Buffalo 17-14. Cincinnati loves this score. They have the home field for as long as they last. And there is Bruce Smith getting in on Chris Chandler, and Coach Meyer was talking to himself over there on the sideline. Jim Kelly to Andre Reed, and Buffalo led it 14-3. And with Chandler out, Gary Hogeboom came in, and here he goes to Albert Bentley. This was the difference in the game. And it was 17-14, the Colts with the win at home. Meanwhile, New Orleans wins, but it's too late. Morton Anderson hits the game-winning field goal with time running out, but the Saints are out of it. They have been eliminated, but because they won today, it means that the San Francisco 49ers have captured the NFC's Western Division. So perhaps they will lose a little motivation tonight against the Los Angeles Rams. That puts the Giants in jeopardy. If the Rams beat the 49ers tonight, it means that the Giants are out. And if the Rams win that game and the Bears win, well, it also means that Los Angeles would host the wild card game. As you can see the standings in the Wild West, I can't remember a year which came down to quite like a scenario if the Saints win, 3-way tie, and San Francisco captures the division title. For Vinny Testaverde, well, he closes out on a high note. And he wins a game. He throws 3 touchdown passes for the Buccaneers. We'll forget about his interceptions today. 3 touchdowns. Way to go, Vinny. And Pittsburgh all over Miami, 40-24. Now, we've got some active scores. I know you've been waiting to see these. 14-7. The winner here will capture the AFC Western Division. The Seahawks moments ago taking a 7-point lead on the Raiders. Kansas City and San Diego, and the Chiefs leading here 13-7 over the Chargers. Green Bay and Phoenix, missed extra point. And the Packers over the Cardinals by 6. We want to bid a happy holidays to our audience down in New Orleans. They watched the Saints win one today. And to all you good folks down Georgia way who watched Atlanta, better things are ahead for that franchise. We say goodbye to that game right now. And for the rest of you, we'll come back when we continue with our post-game show in just a moment.
Fine-tune your life with Emerson.
Right now, the only thing that would taste better than a nice cold one is a cold filtered one.
Can you draft anyone?
Because if you want a beer whose rich, smooth draft taste hasn't been changed by heat pasteurization, we've got it down cold. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. It's as real as beer gets.
Staying on top is not easy. You have to give 110% and expect it from yourself, everyone, everything. Speed Stick deodorant gives 110%. That's its edge. Why? It has no alcohol, and alcohol evaporates. Speed Stick protection doesn't evaporate even after 24 hours. Glides on dry in just a few strokes. That's 110% protection.
Speed Stick deodorant, the wide stick.
That's your edge.
All right, they have gone to the 2-minute warning in the Cleveland-Houston game. The Browns have the ball, and they are putting on a drive. They lead the Oilers by 5. If it holds up, they will have a rematch back in Cleveland next week. for the wild card game in the AFC. And there's the division standings. The Bengals have wrapped up the division title. They did that yesterday. A win by the Browns pulls them into a tie, and they hold the tiebreaker in there for the home field advantage if this holds up. And we're talking about Marty Schottenheimer. Dick, I know he's been a good friend of yours. This has been a tough season for him without Bernie Kosar.
Well, I mean, they ran into a lot of problems, Brent. I mean, they had a couple of three quarterbacks go down, and then he took a lot of heat from the press about him being, you know, they lost Lindy and Fonte, and now Marty was calling the plays, and he took a lot of heat from the press, and I don't think, you know, when you lose three of your top three quarterbacks, what the heck are you going to do? But I tell you what, he bit the bullet, and he just said, okay, we'll move on. They had a lot of adversity, and they're still up there. Yeah. I mean, it's tough, but they got there.
You talk about a division with adversity. I want to take Irv into the AFC West right now. As you're aware, Seattle is ahead of the Raiders, one-game shootout to decide the